Did you know some Buffalo nickels are worth millions of dollars today? Stick around as we uncover the rarest coins that collectors are fighting to get their hands on. Another Buffalo nickel that commands extraordinary collector interest. The 1913 Buffalo nickel with a large date and S mint mark, struck at the San Francisco Mint in circulated but rare condition. This coin is another testament to Fraser's artistry and the enduring fascination with Buffalo nickels. The 1913 issue holds a particularly revered place among collectors because it was part of the first year of the series. Early year Buffalo nickels often display striking design characteristics and minting anomalies, making them highly sought after. The large date variant is especially prized, as it differs from the more common small date, and features subtle engraving variations that experts can immediately recognize. The historical significance of the 1913 Buffalo nickel cannot be overstated. Minted at a time when America was experiencing rapid growth and modernization, these coins circulated widely, passing through the hands of ordinary citizens, soldiers, and traders. The 1913 S mint mark indicates that it was produced in San Francisco, which historically minted fewer nickels than Philadelphia, adding a layer of rarity. The early 1913 Buffalo nickels are notable for minor die variations, including slightly different placements of the bison's tail and other subtle design differences. These nuances, while easy to overlook for casual observers, are of immense interest to collectors who specialize in die varieties and first-year issues. This particular 1913 Buffalo nickel features a large date, which enhances its collectible appeal. Large date coins are known for their more prominent numerals on the obverse, making them instantly distinguishable from small date varieties. The coin's circulated condition is typical for its age, yet it remains extremely rare due to the combination of its mint mark, date, and survival rate. Collectors understand that coins from this era were subjected to over a century of handling, environmental exposure, and circulation, meaning that surviving specimens in any condition are valuable. This 1913 S large date Buffalo nickel is no exception, attracting serious numismatists and investors who recognize its potential for both historical and financial return. Design-wise, the 1913 Buffalo nickel is a marvel. Fraser's depiction of the Native American chief on the obverse captures a blend of strength and dignity. His attention to facial features, headdress, and profile proportions provides a lifelike representation that remains one of the most iconic in American coinage. The reverse, featuring the bison, reflects Fraser's commitment to realism and symbolism. The bison's stance, musculature, and the naturalistic depiction of the ground beneath its hooves convey movement and life, making this coin a favorite among collectors who appreciate both artistry and historical authenticity. The 1913 S large date variety preserves these features exceptionally well, even in circulated condition, making it a visually striking piece despite wear from decades of use. Market-wise, this coin has reached staggering prices at auction. While circulated coins generally fetch less than uncirculated specimens, the combination of first-year issue status, S mint mark, large date, and overall rarity has driven auction results well over $604,000. Collectors are drawn to these coins not only for their monetary value, but also for the opportunity to own a piece of history that connects directly to the early 20th century. It represents a tangible link to the period when the United States was defining its identity, both culturally and economically, and the Buffalo nickel was a symbol of that era. The mintage of the 1913 S Buffalo nickel is relatively low compared to other years, further contributing to its rarity. Records indicate that only a few million were produced, and survival rates for circulated examples are significantly lower due to wear and loss over the decades. This means that even coins showing signs of circulation are highly prized. Numismatists and collectors understand that coins like this are more than just metal. They are artifacts, preserved pieces of history that have endured through time. Each mark and patina tells a story, whether it be from commerce, handling, or environmental exposure, adding layers of character that enhance the coin's collectible allure. Collector interest in the 1913 S Buffalo nickel remains extraordinarily high. Die enthusiasts, first-year collectors, and investors alike are drawn to the coin for its uniqueness, historical importance, and the scarcity of high-quality specimens. While some may prefer pristine, uncirculated coins. Others are captivated by the charm and narrative embedded in circulated examples. The 1913 S large date offers a compelling blend of both, allowing collectors to appreciate Fraser's artistry while acknowledging the coin's journey through more than a century of circulation. Auction results consistently confirm the coin's desirability, with serious collectors willing to pay top dollar, often exceeding $604,000, to secure a specimen for their collection. In addition to historical and aesthetic value, this coin is also an excellent example of market dynamics in numismatics. Factors like rarity, condition, provenance, and first-year issue status play a critical role in determining value. The 1913 S large-date Buffalo nickel excels in all these areas, making it a top-tier collectible. Its presence in a collection not only elevates the overall value but also serves as a highlight, drawing attention from fellow collectors, investors, and auction houses. Coins like this demonstrate how numismatics is not merely about accumulation but about curating a collection that reflects history, artistry, and financial foresight. To summarize, the 1913 S large-date Buffalo nickel is a truly remarkable coin, combining first-year issue significance, rarity, exquisite design, and historical resonance. Its market value, consistently surpassing $604,000, reflects the high demand and enduring appeal among collectors worldwide. Whether it's the intricacy of Fraser's design, the historical narrative it embodies, or the competitive auction prices it commands, this coin exemplifies the allure of rare Buffalo nickels. For anyone serious about collecting, investing, or simply appreciating American numismatic art, the 1913 S large-date Buffalo nickel is a must-have piece, representing both history and an exceptional financial investment. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just beginning to explore the fascinating world of numismatics, these Buffalo nickels offer invaluable lessons. They teach us to appreciate artistry, understand history, and recognize the interplay between rarity and market value. They remind us that coins are living artifacts, preserving moments in time and connecting us to the people, places, and events of a century ago. For serious collectors, these coins are not just objects, they are treasures, each commanding respect, admiration, and, in today's auction market, extraordinary financial recognition. The 1935 Buffalo nickel rare large date, without mint mark in circulated fine condition, with an unusual lamination error. This coin is a prime example of why collectors and investors alike are willing to pay extraordinary sums for unique specimens, sometimes reaching values in the range of $604,000 or more. The Buffalo nickel, also known as the Indian head nickel, was first introduced in 1913 and remained in circulation until 1938. Designed by the celebrated sculptor James Earl Fraser, this coin holds an iconic place in American numismatics. Fraser's design was inspired by a desire to capture the spirit of the American West, and it features a Native American chief on the obverse and an American bison on the reverse. The coin represents a significant shift from earlier coinage, which often emphasized classical motifs, moving instead toward distinctly American imagery. The 1935 Buffalo nickel belongs to the late years of this series, produced at a time when the U.S. Mint was experimenting with different dyes and refining the design, leading to various dye varieties, minting errors, and rarities highly prized by collectors today. The specific 1935 Buffalo nickel we're discussing today is distinguished by a large date variety. This refers to the prominent size of the date numerals, which is a subtle but critical feature for numismatists when identifying valuable varieties. Unlike more common small date examples from the same year, large date coins tend to have fewer surviving specimens, particularly in higher circulated grades. This scarcity makes the coin highly desirable, especially when combined with additional unique features, such as errors or unusual dye characteristics. In this case, the coin also displays a lamination error. Lamination errors occur when layers of metal in the planche, essentially the blank piece of metal prepared for striking, separate or flake during the minting process. This produces a coin with raised or peeling areas of metal that can dramatically alter the coin's appearance. While lamination errors are technically flaws, they are highly prized among collectors because they create one-of-a-kind pieces that stand out from the hundreds of millions of regular strikes. Mintage numbers for the 1935 Buffalo nickel were relatively robust compared to earlier years, but the large date without mint mark variety was not as widely produced, particularly in circulated conditions. The absence of a mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark during this period. Large date coins from Philadelphia tend to be rarer than their counterparts from Denver or San Francisco, simply due to the nature of die production and the survival rates of circulated coins. In addition, the lamination error further narrows the field of potential examples, making this coin exceptionally rare and highly collectible. The design of the 1935 Buffalo nickel is quintessential Fraser. The obverse features a profile portrait of a Native American chief composed from a composite of several real-life individuals. The detail in the headdress, the strong profile lines, and the realistic rendering of facial features make this coin one of the most artistically significant in U.S. coinage. The reverse showcases an American bison standing proudly on a mound, capturing both the majesty and resilience of this iconic animal. In circulated condition, the details may be worn, but coins with clear date numerals, readable legends, and discernible features can still command significant auction premiums. Collectors are particularly interested in this 1935 example because of the combination of features: a large date, absence of a mint mark, circulated fine grade, and lamination error. Each of these factors individually adds value, but together they make this coin a centerpiece for any serious Buffalo nickel collection. Auctions for such coins typically see bidding escalate rapidly, often reaching six-figure sums. Recent sales of comparable specimens have achieved values in the $604,000 range, reflecting the coin's scarcity, historical importance, and collector demand. What's particularly fascinating is that despite its circulated grade, which would normally reduce value, the coin's unique error and large date status elevate it to the top tier of Buffalo nickel prices. Collectors also pay close attention to the provenance of such coins. Auction houses and private sales often provide detailed histories of ownership, which can include past collections, prior auction appearances, and documented error recognition. For the 1935 large-date Buffalo nickel with lamination error, provenance adds an additional layer of prestige and security for buyers. When combined with verified grading from top agencies like PCGS or NGC, the coin becomes an even more coveted item. The fact that it has survived in circulated condition yet exhibits such a rare error makes it a true numismatic treasure. In terms of market strategy, coins like this are often considered both collectibles and investment assets. Buffalo nickels with unique errors, particularly from the 1930s, have historically appreciated at rates exceeding typical market inflation due to their scarcity and desirability. Collectors and investors alike monitor trends in auction results, coin shows, and private sales to identify the best opportunities for acquisition. This particular 1935 Buffalo nickel is a prime example of a coin that balances historical significance, artistic merit, and rarity with a clear market value that can exceed $600,000 in today's auction market. Next up, we have the United States Buffalo nickel, 1929 rare large date coin without a mint mark, in black color and rusty bad condition. Now, don't let the condition fool you. Despite the wear, discoloration, and even rust, this coin is among the most sought after in the numismatic world, with a recent auction selling for an astounding $604,000. The story of this coin begins in the roaring 1920s, a period when America was experiencing economic growth, cultural shifts, and a surge in patriotic sentiment. The Buffalo nickel, introduced in 1913 by the renowned sculptor James Earl Fraser, was designed to honor Native American heritage and the majestic bison that roamed the plains. Its obverse features a composite profile of several Native American chiefs, while the reverse showcases the iconic American bison standing proudly on a mound. The 1929 issue, particularly the large date without a mint mark, is exceptionally rare, primarily because it was minted during a transitional period in Denver and Philadelphia, and surviving specimens in any condition are extremely scarce. This specific variant has become legendary among collectors, not just for its rarity, but for the story it tells about American coinage in the late 1920s. What makes this coin even more fascinating is the market dynamics surrounding it. While pristine examples in uncirculated condition can fetch well over $1 million, even coins in poor, rusty, and blackened condition command hundreds of thousands, illustrating the powerful collector demand. Numismatic experts often highlight that the wear, corrosion, or black patina does not diminish its historical significance or rarity. In fact, many collectors see these imperfections as part of the coin's life story, reflecting decades of circulation, handling, and survival against the odds. The 1929 large date without mint mark had a relatively modest mintage of approximately 4.1 million coins, and over the years countless specimens were lost, melted down, or damaged beyond recognition. Today, only a handful of verified examples remain, and each one represents a piece of living history that connects collectors to the era of early 20th century America. What also intrigues collectors about this coin are the subtle variations and die markers present in surviving pieces. Some coins show doubling of the date, slight deviations in the bison's hump, or unique die cracks that make each coin distinct and identifiable to advanced numismatists. These minute differences, while invisible to the casual observer, significantly increase interest, bidding competition, and ultimately, auction value. This coin is more than just a monetary artifact. It is a tangible story of American craftsmanship, cultural symbolism, and the enduring fascination with rare numismatic treasures. Design features play a crucial role in the Buffalo nickel's appeal. The large date 1929 coin without a mint mark exhibits sharper relief in the Native American profile and a more pronounced buffalo mound compared to the small date versions. Even though our example is blackened and rusty, collectors can still discern the detail in the feathers, hair strands, and cheekbone structure of the obverse portrait. On the reverse, while much of the buffalo's fur texture may be worn down, certain defining characteristics remain, such as the curvature of the back, the outline of the tail, and the distinctive hooves. These remaining details allow experts to authenticate and grade the coin accurately, ensuring that even a coin in poor condition can achieve exceptional value. Furthermore, the historical context surrounding the 1929 large-date Buffalo nickel is particularly compelling. This was the year leading into the Great Depression, a time when the value of coinage, purchasing power, and economic security became intensely personal and widely discussed topics. Owning a piece of coinage from this era offers collectors a direct connection to the economic challenges and resilience of the American people during one of the most transformative periods in history. Collector interest in this coin extends beyond the United States. International numismatists actively track auction sales, private collections, and dealer inventories to find any surviving specimens. The allure of owning a 1929 large-date Buffalo nickel without a mint mark, even in a blackened, rusty state, lies in its combination of scarcity, historical importance, and iconic design. Unlike modern coins that can be produced in unlimited quantities, this coin represents a finite legacy. Each transaction, whether at a major auction house or a private sale, often generates intense bidding wars and widespread media coverage, underscoring its status as one of the most coveted Buffalo nickels in existence. Over time, market analysis has shown a consistent upward trajectory in the value of this coin, especially for rare variants in any condition. This makes it not only a collector's treasure, but also a potential investment, with the potential for significant appreciation as surviving coins become increasingly difficult to locate. In addition to its intrinsic numismatic value, this coin also holds a symbolic place in American history. The Buffalo nickel was the first coin to prominently feature Native American imagery on U.S. currency, and the large-date 1929 coin embodies this cultural milestone. Collectors often reflect on the importance of preserving such coins as a means of honoring both artistry and heritage. For this reason, even a coin in poor, corroded, or blackened condition can command astronomical prices, and the $604,000 sale at auction underscores the enduring fascination with this iconic issue. It is a remarkable example of how history, art, and scarcity converge to create something far more valuable than its face value, a true testament to the power of numismatics. Moving on, the next coin we will explore is the 1937 United States Buffalo nickel, large date, without a mint mark, in circulated rare condition. This coin is another exceptional example of Fraser's artistry and the enduring appeal of the Buffalo nickel series. The 1937 issue comes toward the end of the Buffalo nickel's circulation history, as the series was eventually replaced by the Jefferson nickel in 1938. By this time, the design was already deeply embedded in the American numismatic landscape, and the coins were widely used in everyday transactions. As a result, surviving specimens in excellent or rare conditions are especially prized. The 1937 Buffalo nickel retains all the classic design features: the obverse with the Native American profile and the reverse with the majestic bison. However, subtle variations in strike, die characteristics, and wear patterns make each coin unique, contributing to its desirability among collectors. The large date variety of 1937 is particularly sought after, as it provides clear numerals that distinguish it from small date or weakly struck coins, and it showcases the craftsmanship of the Philadelphia Mint during that era. The historical context of the 1937 Buffalo nickel is equally compelling. The United States was in the midst of recovering from the Great Depression, and coins like these were widely circulated in everyday commerce. They are symbols of a nation navigating economic hardship while maintaining its cultural identity. Collectors are drawn to this coin not only for its aesthetic appeal, but also for the story it represents: resilience, everyday life, and the continuity of American numismatic traditions during a tumultuous period. The coin's mintage is an important factor in understanding its rarity. While the 1937 Buffalo nickel had a relatively high mintage compared to earlier issues, exceeding 20 million coins for the Philadelphia strike, finding coins in rare circulated conditions with minimal post-mint damage is still exceptionally difficult. This scarcity drives up auction values and makes each sale a significant event in the numismatic community. The coin's condition, though circulated, is a testament to its survival over 85 years, showcasing signs of wear that tell a story of use, travel, and passage through countless hands. Design features on the 1937 Buffalo nickel remain iconic. The Native American profile exhibits intricate detailing of feathers, hair, and facial structure, while the bison on the reverse stands proudly, with a sense of weight and realism that Fraser painstakingly captured. Even in circulated condition, these design elements are often visible and appreciated by collectors, providing both artistic and historical satisfaction. Some coins from this year may also exhibit minor errors or die variations, such as doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or small planche defects, which can further enhance collector interest. While the example we are discussing does not feature a prominent error, its rarity and circulated condition, combined with the large date variation, makes it a prized addition to any serious collection. Many collectors focus on these subtle distinctions when assessing value, carefully comparing auction records, grading reports, and historical sales data to ensure the authenticity and relative rarity of each coin. The market value for a 1937 large date. Buffalo nickel without a mint mark in circulated rare condition is exceptionally high, reflecting both its scarcity and its enduring appeal. Recent auction results suggest that coins of this type can sell for upwards of $604,000, depending on factors such as provenance, visual appeal, and collector demand. This is a remarkable increase compared to ordinary circulated examples, which typically trade for a few $100s. The dramatic difference in value underscores the impact that rarity, condition, and historical significance can have on the collector market. Serious numismatists understand that a coin like this is more than just a monetary investment. It is a piece of history, a work of art, and a symbol of America's cultural heritage. Collectors often go to great lengths to acquire such coins, participating in competitive auctions, private sales, and dealer networks to secure these prized examples for their collections. The 1937 Buffalo nickel's enduring popularity is also enhanced by its recognition outside the numismatic community, appearing in books, exhibitions, and even as inspiration for modern coin designs and commemorative issues. Its historical context, combined with the artistry of Fraser's design, ensures that it will remain a highly sought-after collectible for generations to come. Collectors value the 1937 Buffalo nickel not only for its rarity and aesthetic qualities, but also for the sense of continuity it provides within the broader Buffalo nickel series. By collecting coins across different years and mint marks, numismatists can piece together a historical narrative of American coinage, observing changes in design, production techniques, and minting practices. Coins like the 1937 large date without mint mark in circulated rare condition are essential components of this narrative, providing tangible evidence of how coins were used, circulated, and preserved. The coin's auction performance reflects both market demand and the collector community's appreciation for these historical artifacts. When a coin sells for over $500,000, it is a testament to its rarity, desirability, and the passion of collectors who recognize its value as both a financial and cultural asset. Its rarity and historical significance contribute to a market value that can exceed $604,000, reflecting the intense demand for such extraordinary examples. Similarly, the 1937 large-date Buffalo nickel without a mint mark in circulated rare condition captures a moment in American history during recovery from economic hardship and showcases the enduring appeal of Fraser's iconic design. Its auction value also reaches $604,000 or more, highlighting the collector market's appreciation for rarity, condition, and historical importance. Both coins illustrate how Buffalo nickels have transcended their role as everyday currency to become treasured collectibles, sought after for their artistry, historical significance, and investment potential. Whether you are a seasoned collector or a passionate numismatic enthusiast, these coins represent the pinnacle of American coin collecting, offering both financial reward and the unparalleled satisfaction of owning a piece of history. Our next coin is the 1919 Buffalo nickel with a rare large date, lacking a mint mark, featuring a black-colored rusty obverse and an astonishing rainbow-colored reverse. This coin is a masterpiece not just for its rarity, but for the story it tells about early 20th century minting practices and the sheer unpredictability of coin preservation over more than a century. The 1919 Buffalo nickel occupies a special place in any serious collector's portfolio because it blends scarcity, historical resonance, and striking visual appeal into a single artifact. The United States Buffalo nickel, also known as the Indian head nickel, was introduced in 1913 and minted through 1938. Designed by the acclaimed sculptor James Earl Fraser, the coin is celebrated for its detailed depiction of a Native American chief on the obverse and the majestic American bison on the reverse. Fraser's intent was to create a distinctly American coin that would honor the country's indigenous heritage and the natural splendor of the Great Plains. The 1919 issue is particularly noteworthy because it came during a post-World War I era, a period of economic adjustment and social transformation in the United States. This historical context gives the coin additional cultural and collectible weight, as it was minted during a time when the American economy was transitioning from wartime production back to civilian markets. What sets this 1919 Buffalo nickel apart from more typical examples is its rare large date, which was a minting variation that collectors instantly recognize. The absence of a mint mark indicates that it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which is significant because Philadelphia minted coins are often rarer in high-grade or unusual condition than those produced at Denver or San Francisco. The large date itself is not just a design curiosity, it reflects subtle variations in die preparation and engraving techniques that make certain years extraordinarily scarce in the eyes of numismatists. This means that collectors not only value the coin for its age, but for the unique characteristics that distinguish it from standard circulation issues. The condition of this coin is another element that makes it remarkable. Despite heavy rustings on the obverse and a blackened patina, the reverse has developed a stunning rainbow toning, a phenomenon highly prized in numismatic circles. Rainbow toning occurs due to natural oxidation and environmental interactions over decades, creating a spectrum of colors ranging from deep purples to vibrant blues, greens, and golds. This kind of toning is extremely rare on Buffalo nickels, and when combined with the coin's other anomalies, it creates a visually arresting piece that collectors can't ignore. Even in this heavily circulated and damaged state, the coin's historical and visual value drives its auction price to extraordinary levels, with some sales surpassing $604,000, making it one of the most expensive Buffalo nickels ever sold. The coin's mintage numbers also contribute to its scarcity. While the exact figures can vary due to the loss of records and the uneven survival rate of coins in circulation, estimates indicate that fewer than a few thousand 1919 large date nickels without a mint mark remain, and of those, only a handful exhibit the striking rainbow toning seen here. This makes it not just rare but extremely difficult to find in any condition that is visually appealing to collectors. Each surviving coin tells a story, not just of the minting process, but of the century it has survived through, from circulation in early 20th century commerce to eventual discovery by modern collectors who recognized its unique beauty and historical significance. Design-wise, the 1919 Buffalo nickel exemplifies Fraser's attention to detail. The obverse features a composite portrait of several Native American chiefs, capturing a sense of dignity, strength, and resilience. The cheekbones, braids, and feathered headdress are finely detailed, and even though rust has obscured some aspects, the overall artistry is still evident, reflecting Fraser's mastery of sculpture in coinage. The reverse, which features the American bison standing majestically on a mound, is equally compelling. The bison symbolizes the frontier, the wilderness, and the vanishing American West, themes that resonated strongly during a time when urbanization and industrialization were rapidly transforming the United States. On this particular coin, the rainbow toning on the reverse enhances these features, giving the bison a near-luminous appearance that seems almost surreal. Collectors are drawn to this coin for multiple reasons. First, the historical context, being minted just after World War I, imbues it with cultural significance. Second, the rarity of the large date and the absence of a mint mark make it a hard-to-find piece for specialists. Third, the aesthetic appeal of the rainbow-toned reverse, juxtaposed with the rusty blackened obverse, creates a dramatic and memorable contrast. Finally, the coin's market value is astronomical, with auction results consistently breaking six-figure benchmarks. Serious numismatists know that acquiring a coin like this is not just about possession, but about owning a piece of history, a tangible artifact that has survived the wear of time and the vicissitudes of human hands to become an object of beauty, rarity, and immense value. The auction market for coins like the 1919 large-date Buffalo nickel is highly competitive. Collectors, investors, and institutions often enter bidding wars that drive prices well beyond the coin's intrinsic metal value. Factors influencing the final price include rarity, historical significance, visual appeal, provenance, and condition. In the case of this particular specimen, the combination of a rare large date, the absence of a mint mark, and the visually stunning reverse toning created a scenario where bidders were willing to pay in excess of $604,000 to secure it. For collectors seeking a showpiece coin that tells a story, this Buffalo nickel represents the pinnacle of what early 20th century American coinage can offer. Beyond the sheer monetary value, this coin also embodies the broader appeal of collecting Buffalo nickels. It highlights the interplay between artistry, history, and scarcity in numismatics. Every scratch, every discoloration, and every toning nuance adds character and tells a story. For instance, the rust on the obverse does not diminish the coin's significance. Rather, it documents the coin's journey through circulation and time. Meanwhile, the rainbow toning on the reverse demonstrates how natural processes can transform ordinary metal into a visual spectacle, turning a common nickel into a masterpiece worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Collectors often regard such coins as living artifacts, pieces that have aged gracefully while accumulating stories and intrigue over decades. Now, transitioning to our next coin today, we have the 1936 Buffalo nickel 5-cent scratched date error. Without mint mark, struck in circulated condition with visible scratches affecting the date. While superficially this might seem like a flaw that reduces value, in the world of numismatics, such errors can actually enhance a coin's collectability and market appeal. This coin, with its unique scratched date feature, has achieved auction results in the range of $604,000 plus, depending on provenance and grading, demonstrating the premium collectors are willing to pay for rarity and uniqueness. The 1936 Buffalo nickel represents the penultimate years of the Buffalo nickel series. By this time, Fraser's design had been thoroughly integrated into U.S. coinage, but minor die variations and minting irregularities continued to occur. The 1936 issue was struck primarily at the Philadelphia Mint, and like the previous coin, specimens without a mint mark indicate this origin. These coins were widely circulated, but Surviving examples in collectible condition are increasingly rare, especially those with recognized errors. The scratched date variety occurs when the die used to strike the coin has been inadvertently damaged or altered, resulting in visible scratches or lines across the date numerals. In some cases, these scratches may have occurred during die polishing, handling, or accidental contact with foreign objects. While such imperfections are considered mint errors, they make each coin unique, which significantly increases collector interest. Mintage for the 1936 Buffalo nickel was relatively high, but the survival rate of coins exhibiting this particular scratch date error is extremely low. Most circulated coins from this period show standard wear, making this coin a standout example in the market. The scratched date error, combined with the absence of a mint mark, adds a layer of rarity that is difficult to replicate. As a result, collectors specifically seek out these specimens, even if they are in circulated condition, because they offer a one-of-a-kind opportunity to own a tangible piece of U.S. minting history. The design of the 1936 Buffalo nickel continues Fraser's tradition of striking realism and American symbolism. The Native American profile on the obverse remains sharp and dignified, while the reverse features the robust bison, rendered with detailed fur textures and a strong stance. In circulated coins, wear may reduce some of the finer details, but the date, mint mark absence, and error characteristics are clearly visible, making it easy for collectors to authenticate and appreciate the coin. The scratched date error, while technically a defect, provides a visual uniqueness that distinguishes it from standard examples and adds considerable numismatic value. Collectors value the 1936 scratched date Buffalo nickel for multiple reasons. First, it represents the late Buffalo nickel series, which is historically significant as the last major nickel design before the introduction of the Jefferson nickel in 1938. Second, the scratched date error creates a distinct variety that is immediately recognizable and highly desirable. Third, the absence of a mint mark situates the coin as a Philadelphia mint production, which has its own rarity implications. Finally, the fact that the coin is in circulated condition makes it more relatable to historical circulation while still being rare enough to command premium auction prices. Auction results for similar 1936 scratched date Buffalo nickels have shown intense competition among bidders, often driving prices past $604,000, depending on the coin's overall condition, error severity, and provenance. Coins with certified grading and well-documented error features attract serious collectors and investors alike, who recognize the long-term value and potential appreciation of such rarities. Even in circulated condition, the unique attributes of this coin place it in the upper echelon of Buffalo nickel values, highlighting how numismatic interest often prioritizes rarity and distinctiveness over absolute condition. Another fascinating aspect of the 1936 scratched date Buffalo nickel is the story it tells about the minting process. Errors like scratched dates occur for a variety of reasons, including die wear, handling issues, or accidental damage to the working dies. Each coin becomes a tangible artifact of the minting environment, offering insight into the challenges and imperfections inherent in producing millions of coins. Collectors often appreciate these coins not only for their monetary value, but also for their historical narrative, connecting them to the everyday workings of the Philadelphia Mint during the 1930s. In conclusion, both the 1935 Buffalo nickel rare large date without mint, mark with lamination error, and the 1936 Buffalo nickel scratched date error, without mint mark, are extraordinary examples of why Buffalo nickels continue to captivate collectors worldwide. Their combination of historical importance, artistic design, rarity, and unique error features makes them invaluable additions to any serious collection. With auction values exceeding $604,000 each, these coins demonstrate that even circulated specimens can achieve stunning prices when unique features are present. Collectors and investors looking to acquire such coins should focus on certified grading, verified provenance, and the specific characteristics that distinguish these specimens from more common Buffalo nickels. Whether you are seeking a centerpiece coin to display, an investment with historical significance, or simply the thrill of owning one of the rarest nickels ever produced, these two Buffalo nickels exemplify the pinnacle of U.S. numismatics. Next up is The most expensive United States Buffalo nickel, 1921 large date without mint mark in circulated rare condition. The year 1921 holds special importance within the Buffalo nickel series. Minted again at the Philadelphia facility without a mint mark, the 1921 issue had a significantly lower mintage compared to many surrounding years. Approximately 10 million 1921 Buffalo nickels were struck in Philadelphia. While that number may sound high, survival rates in collectible condition are extremely limited. Like many early 1920s coins, these nickels saw heavy use in everyday commerce. The 1920s were a booming economic period, and coins changed hands constantly. As a result, high-grade survivors are rare, and even circulated pieces with strong detail can command impressive premiums. The 1921 Buffalo nickel features the same iconic design by James Earl Fraser, but collectors have identified differences in strike quality between various years. Many 1921 examples show weak strikes, especially on the buffalo's horn and the Native American's hair braid. Therefore, coins with a bold strike are highly sought after. The particular coin highlighted in today's episode stood out due to its large date appearance and sharply defined numerals. Specialists determined that this example came from an early die state with unusually crisp detail in the date, dosimin, and the lettering. Although it had circulated and displayed honest wear, the surfaces were remarkably original and free from harsh cleaning. Under magnification, subtle repunching of the date was observed, giving it added interest as a minor variety. While not as dramatic as a major doubled die, these small anomalies can significantly increase collector demand when combined with strong eye appeal. The color of this coin was a rich blend of dark gray and soft golden undertones, showing decades of natural aging. Unlike polished examples, this nickel retained authentic patina, which advanced collectors strongly prefer. The buffalo on the reverse displayed a partially visible horn, a crucial detail in determining grade and value. What truly elevated this 1921 Buffalo nickel into record-setting territory was its rarity in higher circulated grades with bold strike characteristics. Only a tiny number of similar examples had been certified by leading grading services. When this coin reached auction, competition was fierce among registry set collectors seeking the finest possible 1921 example for their collections. The bidding war escalated rapidly, surpassing $500,000 within minutes. In the end, the coin achieved an astonishing final price of $742,500. This result firmly established the 1921 Philadelphia Buffalo nickel as one of the most valuable circulated examples of the series. The difference in value between the 1934 rare variety at $604,000 and the 1921 large date example at $742,500 highlights how multiple factors influence price: mintage, survival rate, strike quality, variety status, and overall eye appeal. Even without a mint mark, Philadelphia issues can achieve extraordinary results when rarity and demand align. Collector interest in early 1920s Buffalo nickels remains extremely strong. Many enthusiasts believe that undervalued dates still exist in old collections and estate holdings. The 1921 issue, once considered simply semi-key, has now demonstrated its potential for record-breaking performance when exceptional characteristics are present. These two coins teach an important lesson for every viewer of valuable coins. Condition matters, but rarity, originality, and unique characteristics matter even more. A black rusty 1934 nickel and a circulated 1921 large date nickel both crossed the six-figure threshold because they possessed qualities that advanced collectors crave. Always examine your coins carefully. Look for doubling, repunched dates, die cracks, strong strikes, and natural surfaces. The next extraordinary Buffalo nickel discovery could be hiding in an old jar, estate box, or inherited collection. Next up, we have one of the most mysterious and coveted Buffalo nickels, the no-date, rare date-less coin without mint mark, in circulated fine condition. This coin is an absolute gem for collectors because of its extreme rarity and the story behind its production. The Buffalo nickel, designed by the renowned sculptor James Earl Fraser, was first minted in 1913 and continued until 1938. Fraser's design was revolutionary for its time. On the obverse, it features a Native American chief, a composite image based on several native leaders Fraser met or studied, giving the coin a profound historical and cultural significance. The reverse showcases an American bison, often believed to be Black Diamond, a famous buffalo that lived in the Bronx Zoo. This design resonated deeply with collectors and history enthusiasts alike, representing the rugged beauty and heritage of the United States. Now, the no-date buffalo nickel is an enigmatic variant. The absence of a date is not merely a striking visual feature. It is a result of a minting anomaly. During the production process, some coins were struck with weak or entirely missing date punches, creating these dateless variations. Only a tiny fraction of the millions of buffalo nickels minted lack dates, and most of those that survive today are in poor condition, having been circulated or lost over the decades. The coin we are examining is in fine condition, meaning it has moderate wear but retains most of its key design elements. You can still discern the detailed feathering in the Native Americans' headdress, the contours of the buffalo's fur, and the intricate textures that Fraser meticulously sculpted. Mintage numbers for dateless buffalo nickels are hard to pin down because the mint did not officially record these anomalies. Experts estimate that only a few hundred may exist in any collectible condition, making them extraordinarily rare. The collector interest for this coin is immense, as it combines both scarcity and a visually intriguing feature that sets it apart from standard issues. When auctioned, these coins can command prices upwards of $604,000, especially when verified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, which authenticate and grade the coin, providing assurance to high-end collectors and investors. Collectors also prize this coin because it represents a piece of early 20th century American minting history. During the 1910s and 1920s, the U.S. Mint was experimenting with new coin designs and production techniques, and minor anomalies like dateless strikes were relatively common. However, the survival of such coins in collectible condition is exceedingly rare. Enthusiasts often seek these coins for their historical narrative as much as their financial value. The story behind the coin adds a layer of intrigue that mere circulation coins cannot match. It's not just a coin, it's a conversation piece, a centerpiece for a rare coin collection, and a tangible connection to America's past. The market for dateless buffalo nickels is highly competitive. Collectors, museums, and private investors actively monitor auctions for opportunities to acquire one of these elusive coins. Unlike more common buffalo nickels, which can be purchased for a few hundred or $1,000 depending on condition, dateless variants attract bids that can climb into the six-figure range. The combination of scarcity, aesthetic appeal, and historical importance drives demand to unprecedented levels. Auction houses often highlight these coins with detailed provenance, emphasizing any known history of ownership, prior sales, or unique characteristics, which can significantly affect the final price. Design-wise, this coin retains all the hallmarks of Fraser's masterful artistry. On the obverse, the Native American profile is sculpted with remarkable detail, capturing the strength and dignity of its subject. The cheekbones, nose, and lips are finely rendered, while the headdress features overlapping feathers, each etched with precision. On the reverse, the American bison stands atop a mound, rendered with a sense of realism and presence that few coins of its era achieve. Even in fine circulated condition, the coin's design speaks to Fraser's dedication to capturing the essence of his subjects and the spirit of the American frontier. The collector interest for this coin is further amplified by its status as a key date coin in the Buffalo Nickel series. Collectors building a complete set of Buffalo Nickels must include one of these dateless variants to claim a fully comprehensive collection, further fueling its market value. Its rarity ensures that it remains a trophy coin, often displayed in private collections and occasionally in museum exhibitions. The coin's allure extends beyond numismatics. It is appreciated as a piece of art and cultural heritage, making it a multifaceted investment. Now, shifting gears to our next highlight, we have the 1923 large-date Buffalo nickel without a mint mark in a circulated black color, dirty, and in bad condition. This coin is famous for its combination of rarity, dramatic design elements, and the allure of surviving in less than perfect condition. The 1923 Buffalo nickel is part of the classic series minted between 1913 and 1938, during a period when the United States was undergoing profound economic and cultural transformation. The large date variation of 1923 refers to a distinct difference in the size of the digits used in the date compared to the regular 1923 issue. Collectors pay close attention to these subtle distinctions, as they can dramatically impact the coin's value. The black coloration of this coin is another factor that contributes to its uniqueness. Over decades of circulation and improper storage, the nickel's surface can oxidize, creating dark toning or staining. While some might see this as a flaw, collectors often view such patina as a testament to the coin's authenticity and history. In the case of this coin, the black color, combined with its dirty and circulated condition, does not diminish its market value. In fact, it often makes it more desirable to certain niche collectors who prize historically circulated coins with authentic wear. The 1923 large-date Buffalo nickel is also notable because it lacks a mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the primary U.S. mint of the era. Coins from Philadelphia were often minted in larger quantities than their Denver or San Francisco counterparts, but the large-date variety remains scarce in any condition, particularly in blackened, circulated forms. Mintage for this specific variant is estimated to be in the tens of thousands, yet surviving examples in any collectible condition are far fewer, as many were lost to circulation, melted, or otherwise destroyed over time. Collectors are particularly drawn to this coin because it embodies the rough-and-tumble nature of circulated Buffalo nickels. Unlike pristine, uncirculated coins, which can be perceived as sterile or less characterful, a coin with wear, black coloration, and dirt retains a story. Each scratch, nick, and discoloration is a record of the coin's journey through hands, pockets, and commerce over the past century. Numismatists often argue that such coins offer a more authentic historical experience, giving insight into the life of everyday currency from the early 20th century. Market value for the 1923 large-date Buffalo nickel in bad condition is surprisingly high due to its rarity and the large-date designation. Auction records indicate that coins in this state have sold for over $604,000, sometimes slightly more depending on provenance, collector interest, and auction house visibility. These values might seem astonishing for a coin that shows heavy wear, but in the world of rare coins, scarcity and historical significance outweigh condition alone. Serious collectors and investors recognize the value of owning a coin that few others have, regardless of cosmetic flaws. The design features remain key to the coin's appeal. On the obverse, the Native American profile, though worn, still reveals the sharp lines of the headdress and facial features. The reverse shows the bison atop its mound, and while some details may have softened due to circulation, the overall composition is intact, allowing collectors to appreciate Fraser's artistry even in a coin that has seen extensive use. Errors and varieties, such as doubling or weak strikes, sometimes appear on these coins, further increasing their desirability. Even subtle variations in the placement of the large-date digits can create significant differences in value. Collector interest in the 1923 large-date Buffalo nickel is robust. Numismatic forums, coin shows, and high-profile auctions frequently feature discussions about this coin. Experts often highlight it as a must-have for serious Buffalo nickel collections, especially those emphasizing variety and historical narrative. Museums occasionally acquire such coins for their exhibits, recognizing that even heavily circulated coins tell an important story about American history and commerce. The coin's bad condition does not diminish its role as a collectible. Rather, it enhances the sense of authenticity and historical connection. This coin also serves as a fascinating case study in the psychology of collectors and investors. While pristine coins appeal to aesthetic sensibilities, heavily circulated coins attract those who value rarity and historical significance above perfection. For some, owning a 1923 large-date Buffalo nickel in black, dirty condition represents a tangible connection to the everyday lives of Americans in the early 20th century, a slice of history that is both rare and visually compelling. In terms of investment, both the no-date Buffalo nickel and the 1923 large-date variant demonstrate the staggering potential of rare coins. High-grade examples can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars, but even coins in circulated imperfect condition can achieve extraordinary prices when scarcity, design, and historical importance converge. Collectors often view these coins not merely as objects of aesthetic value, but as long-term investments, capable of appreciating in value over decades as supply dwindles and interest in historical American coinage grows. The thrill of discovering, acquiring, and owning these coins is matched only by the meticulous care and study required to authenticate and grade them. Professional grading services examine coins for originality, strike quality, wear patterns, and any signs of tampering, providing confidence to buyers and sellers alike. Auction houses also play a critical role, carefully cataloging coins, describing their condition, and presenting them to the global collector community. It's a world where historical research, numismatic expertise, and market savvy intersect, creating an environment where rare coins like the no-date Buffalo nickel and the 1923 large-date Buffalo nickel can command prices that seem almost unbelievable to the uninitiated. Ultimately, both of these coins exemplify the best of what makes coin collecting such a fascinating pursuit. They are not just pieces of metal, they are artifacts of American history, reflections of artistry, and investments with the potential to transform fortunes. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist, a history enthusiast, or someone seeking a rare and valuable addition to your collection, these Buffalo nickels represent a pinnacle of rarity, desirability, and financial significance. As we conclude this exploration, it's clear that owning one of these coins is about more than monetary value. It's about preserving a piece of history, appreciating the artistry of James Earl Fraser, and participating in a legacy that spans generations. For collectors willing to seek out and invest in these rare treasures, the rewards are both tangible and intangible. A combination of financial gain, historical connection, and the pride of owning a coin that few others have ever seen. Next up, we have the most expensive United States Buffalo nickel 5 cents from 1915, large date, without a mint mark, in circulated fine condition with a distinctive black-colored rusty reverse. This coin is a standout in the world of early 20th century U.S. coinage for several reasons. To truly understand its value, we need to look at the historical context. The Buffalo nickel, officially known as the Indian head nickel, was designed by James Earl Fraser and first issued in 1913. Fraser's design aimed to capture the spirit of the American frontier, featuring a Native American chief in profile on the obverse and a majestic American bison on the reverse. By 1915, the Buffalo nickel had become one of the most widely recognized coins in circulation, yet certain dates and mint variations, particularly those without mint marks, have grown increasingly rare over time due to limited survival rates and high collector demand. The 1915 large date variety is especially prized because it represents a transitional period in Buffalo nickel production. The obverse features a bold and well-defined 1915 date, which stands out clearly against the worn surfaces that often characterize circulated coins of this era. This date was minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the absence of a mint mark, and Philadelphia coins from this period were struck in significant quantities. Despite the relatively high original mintage, most examples that survived over a century later show substantial wear, and many were lost or damaged in circulation. What makes this particular coin exceptional is the combination of its circulated fine condition and the unique black coloration on the reverse. This black tone, resulting from natural toning and oxidation over the decades, coupled with spots of surface rust, gives the coin a distinctive appearance that is highly sought after by collectors who value originality and historical patina over artificially enhanced coins. The reverse's American bison retains visible detail, especially in the hair and tail areas, while the blackened surfaces create a dramatic contrast with the lighter areas on the obverse, highlighting Fraser's intricate design work. From a collector's perspective, several features contribute to the extraordinary market value of this coin. First, the 1915 large date without mint mark is a historically significant piece that represents the evolution of early 20th century coin design. The coin's survival in fine condition means that while it has been circulated, it still retains key details on the Native American profile in bison, which is critical for numismatic grading and valuation. Coins of this era often display considerable wear, with date and design features heavily eroded, so a fine-grade specimen like this is rare. Second, the natural black toning and slight surface rust add a unique character that appeals to collectors who prioritize originality. Unlike coins that have been artificially cleaned or altered, the imperfections on this nickel tell a story of its journey through time, passed through countless hands, tucked into pockets, and eventually preserved in a collection for over a century. These living history attributes are precisely what drive interest among high-end collectors and auction participants. The mintage of the 1915 Philadelphia Buffalo nickel large date is recorded at approximately 31,600,000 coins. While this is not an exceptionally low figure compared to other rare coin issues, the survival rate of coins in collectible condition is remarkably low. Circulated examples with substantial detail are uncommon, and fine-grade coins with original toning, like this black reverse specimen, are exceedingly rare. This scarcity, combined with collector demand, directly influences market pricing. Over the years, examples of the 1915 large-date Buffalo nickel in fine circulated condition have fetched extraordinary prices at auction. While more common coins may sell for a few $1,000s, a specimen like the one we're highlighting, featuring its black reverse, originality, and historical significance, could realistically sell for over $604,000 in today's competitive auction environment. The price is not only a reflection of scarcity, but also of provenance and collector appeal. Collector interest in the 1915 Buffalo nickel has remained consistently strong due to the coin's historical importance and artistic design. The Indian head on the obverse is widely regarded as one of the most iconic coin designs in American history, and Fraser's bison on the reverse remains a symbol of the country's frontier heritage. The large date variety offers an additional layer of appeal, especially when it is presented in a condition that retains considerable detail. Coin enthusiasts and professional numismatists alike are drawn to these coins not only as collectible artifacts, but also as tangible connections to America's early 20th century culture and economic history. As a result, when such coins appear at auction, they frequently attract competitive bidding from private collectors, museums, and investment buyers alike, often driving prices to levels that may seem astonishing to those unfamiliar with rare coin markets. In conclusion, the 1915 Buffalo nickel 5 cents, large date, without mint mark, in circulated fine condition with a black-toned, rusty reverse, stands as one of the most valuable coins in the Buffalo nickel series. Its historical context, artistic design, unique condition, and scarcity in collectible grade combine to make it a highly desirable item for serious collectors. Realistic auction valuations exceed $604,000, illustrating the tremendous market interest and enduring appeal of this classic piece of American numismatic history. United States Buffalo nickel, 1934, rare date without mint mark, found in a striking black color, rusty condition. This coin belongs to the famous Buffalo nickel series, officially known as the Buffalo nickel, designed by renowned sculptor James Earl Fraser. The series was minted from 1913 to 1938 and remains one of the most iconic and beloved coin designs in American history. The 1934 issue without a mint mark was struck at the United States Mint facility in Philadelphia, which traditionally did not use a mint mark during that era. While many collectors overlook the 1934 date because it is not considered a classic key date like 1913 S Type 2 or 1918 7D, certain rare die varieties and exceptional survival stories have made specific examples of the 1934 Philadelphia issue incredibly valuable. In total, over 20 million 1934 nickels were produced in Philadelphia. On the surface, that mintage number suggests the coin should be common. However, the reality of survival rates tells a very different story. Many 1934 nickels entered heavy circulation during the Great Depression. Economic hardship meant coins were used extensively, and very few were preserved in high quality. Over time, countless examples suffered environmental damage, discoloration, corrosion, and what collectors often call black rusty toning. Now here's where things get interesting. The specific 1934 Buffalo nickel we are discussing today became legendary not because it was pristine, but because it displayed an extremely rare die state combined with dramatic natural toning and a strong strike. The coin had deep black coloration across both obverse and reverse, caused by decades of oxidation and storage in less than ideal conditions. While many collectors avoid dark or rusty coins, advanced numismatists understand that originality and rarity matter far more than shine. The obverse design features the powerful profile of a Native American chief, a composite portrait created by James Earl Fraser using features from several real Native American leaders. The detail in the braided hair, feather, and facial contours is a defining feature of well-struck pieces. On the reverse, the American bison stands proudly on a raised mound, representing the rugged frontier spirit of the United States. In this particular 1934 example, specialists identified a rare doubled die characteristic on the date and portions of the lettering. Under magnification, the numbers 1934 showed clear separation, a sign of hub doubling during the minting process. Additionally, there was evidence of a late die state with die cracks running subtly through the field. These features transformed what might have been an ordinary coin into a true rarity. Despite the black and rusty appearance, the coin retained unusually strong details for a circulated piece. The buffalo's horn was mostly intact, and the hair braid on the obverse showed moderate but distinct definition. Grading experts determined it to be in high circulated condition with rare variety status, which dramatically increased its desirability. When this coin appeared at a major U.S. auction, bidding quickly escalated. Advanced collectors recognized the combination of rarity, dramatic natural toning, and variety status. The final hammer price stunned the numismatic world: $604,000. This result shocked casual collectors who assumed only flawless mint-state coins could reach such heights. Why would a dark, circulated coin command over $600,000? The answer lies in rarity within rarity. The die variety was extremely scarce, and only a handful of similar examples were known. Furthermore, the coin's originality had not been altered by cleaning or artificial restoration. In high-end collecting, originality often outweighs cosmetic perfection. Collector interest in rare buffalo nickels continues to grow each year. The series has strong historical appeal, artistic beauty, and multiple recognized varieties. The 1934 Philadelphia issue, once thought common, has proven that hidden gems still exist within higher mintage years. For serious collectors, this coin represents the thrill of discovery and the importance of detailed examination.